What's up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, coming back at you tonight to talk to you about a really cool update that Google Earth just put out. You know, before, if you were using Google Earth, you couldn't use the historical imagery on any phones, or the iPads, anything. Basically, you had to have Google Earth Desktop. So what did that mean? When you got any types of waypoints from Simplistic Fishing, if you weren't looking at it on a desktop or a laptop, you weren't going to be able to take full advantage of it because you couldn't move that history bar back and forth. Well, guess what? Google Earth made a couple changes. Not only did they do that, but they made a couple other changes that made using the iPad and Google Earth much more friendly, and it'll make it much more friendly for you while you're out there on the water. Let's go check it out. Bye. Start this off by taking you out to the Simplistic Fishing website, and let's pretend that we're purchasing a couple files from the website on the digital side, and then we're going to take those and bring those into the Google Earth app on the iPhone or the iPad. So let's go ahead and do that now. Let's go ahead and click Shop Now. And the two that I really want to look at today are Buchanan and Buchanan. So we'll go Buchanan here. I like this one, it has lots of fluctuations, so I'm going to select the digital files, add that to my cart. Then I'm also going to go out and get Hubbard Creek. So I'm going to go over here and hit the search button and look for Hubbard Creek. We got that here. We're going to select the digital file and add that to our cart. And then from here, normally what I would do is I would go and I would hit checkout. So I'm going to go here and hit checkout. Probably going to make me fill in a whole bunch of information. It's going to continue on to this payment side. So let's continue on to the payment. We're going to use Square Pay again. We're going to fill out my name real quick. Tyler at Simplistic Fishing. It's going to send me a code. That code is going to be on my phone. So I'm going to key in that code. Let's go. I think we got her done. Oops, I'm sitting here keying it on my laptop instead of keying it on the actual iPad. 321327. All right, so we got that done. Now we're just gonna say, yep, we're good on everything. Yeah, yep. Place the order. So we place the order, and once we place the order, it's actually gonna take us to a site here in a second. It's gonna say, hey, here's your order. You can view your account. You get your summary of your order, all that good stuff. Notice up here on the top, right in here, it says don't send me text alerts. So if you don't want to send text alerts, just click that. It's going to send the information to whatever email address you put in there. So now we're going to go in here and we're going to go out to that email and we're going to find that order. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to my Outlook. It says thank you for your order. Here we go, there's my $86, and then I should have another email right here that says, hey Michael, thank you for your order, and it gives me the files. So notice right in here, you've got how-to videos, so you can click here to go to the how-to videos. They'll walk you through basically everything, and actually this video is gonna be a how-to video on how to do this with your iPhone and your iPad. Then we can also, we also have the file names here. So .kml, that's going to be used with Google Earth. The GPX files used with certain units, USR, and the matrix. It's all explained there. But the main thing is we've got two files here. We've got Buchanan and Hubbard Creek. And so what we're going to do is we're going to access those files by clicking this link right there. Now I'm going to click that. It's going to take us out to here. It's going to say, hey, you have access to download these 3 different times. Where do you want to put them to? So remember, we're on our iPad, right? So everything's a little bit different than a PC. So I'm going to hit the download button. And then you're going to notice here at the bottom, down here, it says save. So I'm going to click save. And the one thing that I didn't point out to you, which I probably should have pointed out to you, and I don't think it's going to let me take away that, so we'll take a step back, is notice right here in the highlighted section, in order to be able to do this, you either need to have the Files app on your computer or you need to have Dropbox. It's the only way to do this with the iPhone. Now you can also download the files to your computer and then sync it via iTunes, but that's a pain in the butt. So just make sure you get the Files app. It's super easy. You probably already have it, and if not, you can always do Dropbox, but you're gonna need those, and in this case, I'm gonna use that Files app. So I've already got the Files app on my computer. We're gonna look at it here in a second, but I'm gonna click the Save button. And here I'm gonna save it to Files. You can see right here, I'm gonna save this to Files. And then it's pretty much done, right? So now I want to go over and I want to download the Hubbard Creek one as well. So I'm going to click download Hubbard Creek one. It says, do you want to download the zip file? Yes, I want to download it. So I'm going to click save. And again, I'm going to save it to my files. All right, so I've got the files, I've ordered them, I've saved them. I'm super excited, I want to use them. How do I use them? Well, first now we got to go out here to the Files button, which it was actually right there, but we'll just do it this way. We'll go Files. Now, under Files, what we have in here is we have basically a bunch of different options, right? One of the options that you have is right here. It says on my iPad. So when you do it on your iPad, I was accessing that stuff from Google Chrome. So I'm going to go in here to Chrome. It would be in your downloads if you did it from Safari. And once you do that, you're actually going to see that we have two different zip files in here. Now, one of them was already in here before. That's Hubbard Creek zip file, but Buchanan wasn't in here before. So what you need to do, and this is the tricky part. Let me go ahead and delete this one so this doesn't confuse you guys. This is the tricky part for sure. So here's what it would look like if I hadn't done any testing. So you got two zip files. If you don't know what a zip file is, basically it just compresses all the files down and makes them smaller. The trick is you can't just open a zip file and get the file that you need. You can't just point to the zip file and it knows the KML's in there. You have to unzip the folder first, and then you can access the files. Well, Apple's made this super easy. All you have to do is click the button. So you click zip and it unzips it, and now you see I have a folder called Buchanan with 5 items underneath it. And if I open that up, you can't see it that well because just the way I have this view, but you've got all the files that we just said that you would have in your email. And one of these files is actually the .kml file that we're going to use. So we've unzipped Buchanan. Now we went back. Now I need to go over here to Hubbard Creek and click that. And that's going to unzip it and create a Hubbard Creek folder. Same thing. Those same files are going to be in that folder. So now we're done, right? We're done. We've got the files downloaded and we've unzipped the files. Now the next thing we need to do is go out to Google Earth and actually show you guys how to use these. So now here we are. We're in Google Earth. So make sure you have the Google Earth app downloaded. So before you start this whole project, download the Google Earth app and download the Files app if you don't have it. Those are the two most important things. You get those two things downloaded, you're on your way to success. All right, so now we're gonna go in here and we're gonna open up Google Earth. And the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go down here, we're gonna click this plus sign. This plus sign is to add a project. Now, I've tried to create projects from the drives, and for whatever reason, it just doesn't work from the iPad. For whatever reason, it can't find it. But what it can do is it can find the local KML files pretty easy. And how do we know they're local? Because we just saved them to the iPad, remember? And we unzipped them. So let's go get those. So we're gonna go over here to local KML file, and then we're gonna click the import button right here. So I'm gonna click import, and then I'm gonna go on here to on my iPad. And remember, that was from Chrome that I saved those on. So here's the files that we have. Let's go into Buchanan. The only file that I could select would be this matrix folder or this file. This file is actually the one we want. So we're gonna click on that Buchanan Lake file. And what that's gonna do is that's gonna import in all these waypoints for us for Lake Buchanan. They're all gonna be right here. Super cool. Let's go ahead and add the other one too. So we're gonna go back in again. We're gonna open from, or not, we're gonna go in local KML file. Then we're gonna hit the import button. And then we're gonna go back here and click on my iPad. Then I'm gonna click that Chrome again. And then from Chrome, I'm gonna go to Hubbard Creek. And then from Hubbard Creek, I'm gonna click Hubbard Creek again. That's gonna be this one. And then what's gonna happen here is Hubbard Creek's gonna load in. So now if I look at my projects, I've got 2 of them here over on the left-hand side, which is pretty cool. You can modify those projects. You can go in here and actually click them, and you can see how everything's modified. You've got your hard spots, you've got your channels and creeks, you've got your ramps, you can filter things differently, I'm sure. You can do all kinds of different stuff. I didn't mean to do that. But anyways, you got all those different options that you have out there. Now the cool stuff that you have is up here on the right-hand side. I'm going to take this stuff off so you can't see it first, is we've got all these different options, right? Over here on the right-hand side, we've got clean, no borders. I actually like that better because I don't really care about road names, but if I do need the road names, I can always just click on it back. But the quicker it can load, the better for me, because that allows me to change the date. So I set it to clean, but the most important thing is down here, this historical imagery is awesome. This is what we've always had on Google Desktop, but now we actually have it on our iPhones and our iPads and our other, I don't even know what they call Samsung devices, whatever they are, all that good stuff. Basically, if it's a mobile phone, we now have the ability to do this. So super cool. So we're going to turn on this historical imagery. So now that's on. And then notice down here on the left, we've got this little button right here. Well, this is our ability to change the history. So if I go over here, let's go over here to Lakeview, I can't remember which lake this one is. Let's go over here to Buchanan. I think this is Buchanan. And we're going to go over here. We're going to move this history bar around. So notice how it moves, and I can now tell. So normally, back in the good old days of yesterday, this is what you would have gotten. You would have gotten a picture with basically all the waypoints on whatever the current lake level was on the last image that Google Earth took. Well, that's not the case anymore. So if I want to go out here and say, man, what in the world was he marking out here with these tracks? There's got to be something there, right? But you can't tell that there's anything there, but now you can go out here to this imagery and you can change this around and actually see those are actually some really cool ditches that are out on top of that flat. So you can also see, here's all that rock. It's now exposed before. So really, really cool stuff. Being able to change that imagery is big. Having it on your mobile device is even bigger. And then the last thing is you can go over here and you can click on this little icon right here. And it'll actually show you your location. Now that may have been there before. I don't remember if it was there before, but I don't think it was, because now it moves with you. So now if I go out to this lake, wherever I'm at on this lake, that blue dot's going to follow me. So if I want to go in here and I want to fish this creek channel through here, I'll know that I'm exactly in that creek channel. Before we had to take the information and import it in to the graphs, which we still can. It's very valuable in the graphs. But now look at this. You've got all of this in the palm of your hands right now. And you can take it out to the lake and know exactly where your GPS position is. It's super, super cool. I'm probably more excited about it than anybody else because it's kind of the life that I live in. But really, really cool stuff. Let's go down to Hubbard Creek Lake. Maybe that might have been Hubbard Creek that we were looking at. I can't get my lakes confused here on which ones I'm looking at. But let's go down. Let's back this out. Let's go look at one of these other ones. So let's go down here. Same type thing, right? I think this is Hubbard Creek here. So we're going to go down here. And if I did get these lakes wrong, please don't harass me. I can't tell right now. And I'm on video, so I'm all nervous. But anyways, here we go. We're going to go down here and we're going to change the dates. Now there is a cool thing here too. You can change, if I double click that, I guess let me go back and show you what I did here. So I went up, made sure that I had on the historical imagery over here on the left hand side. So I'm going to click that on. And then it'll either pop up here or it'll pop up down here on the right side. So if I click this button right here, it moves it over to the right hand side. If I double click this down here, it moves it over to the left hand side. If I click this button right here, this is where it'll actually give me the timeline. So it'll start the time lapse. I like to do it on 0.5 so I can actually, so the internet can catch up with me to show me the different images. Like right there was a good one where it showed really wide. There's another good one, a couple other good ones. So it kind of gives you an idea of where to start. Or you can take that off. So we can go here to take off time lapse. Oops, I'm clicking it with my mouse and not my finger. And we can just select it here on the timeline. So what I'm doing is I'm just clicking down here with my finger and changing the date that way. So anyway, guys, totally cool stuff. Don't forget about the historical imagery. Don't forget about the show your location. You get those two things, download the Files app, download the Google Earth app, you are on your way to some really good stuff. And also don't forget, go check out that website on those how-to videos, because on the offshore stuff, on these lakes that have the really good offshore stuff that we've marked, a lot of times you can't see those. On these two lakes, these things get really low, so we saw a lot of good offshore stuff, but some of those are just marked offshore. And you're not going to be able to see what we marked there from just Google Earth Imagery. You're going to need some type of a contour map. So don't forget, you can take that GPX file, import that into your Navionics mobile app, and now you have your offshore hotspots with your contour lines, and then you'd be able to switch right over to Google Earth and have all of your shallow stuff, creek channels, all that good stuff here as well. So hope you guys can take full advantage of this. Make sure to go check out our website, simplisticfishing.com. And until next time, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.